What a great comment. So just because your charger says it's 100% on the batteries doesn't mean your batteries are 100%. This is a very common misconception. A related misconception is that, hey, look, I know that it's 2.03 volts per cell. I know there's 6 cells that are wired in series inside the batteries to make up my 12 volt battery. I know that as a result of that, 2.03 times 6 carry the 1. Yeah, I have an idea of what the standing voltage should be on a fully charged lead acid battery, and most folks say that number is about 12.7 or so. Little fuzzy math there. But at any rate, just because a battery shows a full charge in voltage does not mean it's fully charged, does not mean it's got full capacity. Just because your charger, even if it's a desulfating smart charger, and there's some fancy ones out there from any number of brands, just because the desulfation mode says that your batteries are 100% also does not mean your batteries are 100%. Your only way to know is to subject the battery to a CCA test or to a load test. So you can use the old school carbon pile tester, nothing wrong with that. Or you can use one of these newfangled, back in my day, they didn't have this kind of cool stuff, testers that actually put a load against the battery to report back a cold cranking amp rating number. And that number needs to be above 700 if you live in a southern climate, above 800 if you live someplace where it gets kind of chilly. So if those numbers are good, then you don't need, these batteries like what I've got back here, which are my fave batteries. Oh my goodness, they are a reason that God loves you and wants you to be happy. Odyssey batteries. I've got a pair of these in my favorite 6.0, my aforementioned Excursion. They're 12 years old. They test out equivalent to brand new. I mean, I know that they're sweet Jesus money, but they are awesome. But at any rate, I would get your batteries load tested, and then you can decide if that's the problem. If it is not the problem, then it's the starter. So if you need a starter, take a look at this bad boy, this mean green starter. Just do a search on starter on FICMRepair.com. This puppy will pop up. It's $419 of built-in happiness as well. So I'm sorry you're having problems. It's either batteries or starter. I suppose there's a loose possibility that it's just a connection at the batteries. That's worth checking out before you give anybody any money. And it's also a possibility it's a connection at the starter, which is really uncommon, but it does happen. So maybe you want to check your connections first. Maybe you want to do a load test on your batteries first, and then kind of see where things land and decide, hey, am I going to spend Bama Jamma money on batteries? Am I going to buy the cheapos at the local auto parts store? Am I going to buy Wally World Specials? What am I going to do? Or am I going to buy the fancy dancy ones from your friends at Fic and Repair? But if your batteries are fine, maybe you just need a starter. Or anyone watching this, if you got more than 160,000 miles on your starter, that seems to be the sweet spot, the top of the bell curve for the time that these starters go bad. And in all the years we've been doing this, I'm aware of exactly one time where a 6.0 starter gave any notice at all. So what very commonly happens is you turn the key in the morning, crank, 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 vroom. Afternoon, crank, 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 vroom. Next morning, crank, 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 vroom. Next evening, not even a click. So unless you want to be on your back changing out a starter in your employer's parking lot or something, maybe you just want to go ahead and pick up the starter and call it a day. But it's up to you. Regardless, I hope this provides you some insight, and onward and upward, FICMRepair.com. We're all in this together. The goal is never to sell you stuff, it's just to tell you stuff. But to be clear, you need to like, subscribe, post, repost, all the things. Tell your buddies. If they made a bad choice to get a Cummins or Duramax, we might harass them, but we'll still help them out. So we sell everything from everyone. Have not been beat on price in 15 years, and we price match for 30 days after the sale. So whatever you need, we got you. The goal is never to sell you stuff, it's just to tell you stuff. So whatever path you want to go, we support you. We're all in this together. Be good. Take care.